Welcome back to the guided video tour of this document, the Timeline.pdf spreadsheet. In the first 8 videos of this series, we've covered the chronology of Genesis through Deuteronomy that goes from creation until the death of Moses, right after Israel took possession of their land east of the Jordan River. Next, Israel will take possession of the promised land west of the Jordan River, and then we will enter the period of the Judges. The chronology for the period of the Judges has confused Bible scholars for centuries, but we will demonstrate how the numbers can be reconciled by first observing the many details provided in Scripture and then using the tools that we've learned so far. Scholars' confusion is evident from this quote found in the Bible Atlas edited by Zane Ridling, Ph.D. Here's what it says regarding the period of the Judges. The traditions of various tribes and clans from this period were later edited to form a continuous narrative. It is almost impossible to determine the chronological and historical relationships of these traditions to each other and assign them precise dates. In other words, scholars conclude that the events in Judges are jumbled and cannot be reconciled. As we've done up to this point, we will continue to place events from the Bible into our absolute timeline spreadsheet using strict synchronisms and anchor points until all the pieces of the puzzle have been put into place. The book of Judges begins in chapter 1, verse 1 by saying, "Now after the death of Joshua," and then continues with Judah and Simeon taking possession of their allotted territories and Caleb getting Hebron. This may give us the impression that Caleb got Hebron after Joshua died, but let's take a closer look. In chapter 2 of Judges, we see the angel of the Lord rebuking the people at Bochim, and then in verse 6, Joshua dismisses the people to their lands. Joshua is clearly not dead at this point, even though chapter 1 verse 1 says, "after the death of Joshua." Since the Bible skips around frequently, we must rely on the anchor points and synchronisms provided in Scripture to determine the order of events. Judges chapter 1 is repeating some of the events already covered in Joshua chapters 14 and 15, and it's there in Joshua that we are given the anchor point for reconciling the chronology. We learn that Caleb is 85 years old when he gets Hebron, and that was long before Joshua died. In the Judges narrative, Joshua is actually not dead until we get to Eglon and Ehud. As we untangle the chronology of the Judges, notice also that the last 5 chapters of Judges occur before Joshua dies. Judges chapter 17 through 21 contain the accounts of Micah's idolatry and the horrific events of the Levite and his concubine that nearly led to the extinction of the tribe of Benjamin. We can verify that these events took place before Joshua died because the Danites had still not received their land. Also, when inquiring of the Lord regarding the wicked Benjamites, we're told that it was Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, that stood before the Ark of the Covenant in those days. This clarifies for us that it was not Phinehas, the son of Eli, who stood before the Ark of the Covenant in the years after Samson, the last judge in the book of Judges. So we see an end to the conquest of Canaan in the 7th year after Joshua crossed the Jordan River when Caleb is 85 years old and the land had rest from war. Because of Israel's disobedience, God did not completely drive out the inhabitants of the land, but left some of them to test Israel's faithfulness. As we continue through the period of the Judges, we will notice their conflicts with these people and will pay special notice to the Ammonites and the Philistines, as they will continue to be a thorn in Israel's side even through the time of King Saul and King David. So now we have an anchor point in our timeline when Caleb is 85 years old. We can verify this year because Caleb was 40 years old when he spied out the land from Kadesh in the early summer of the 2nd year after they came out of the land of Egypt. With each row of this spreadsheet representing a year, we can simply count from when Caleb was 40 until he was 85. This will mark the end of the 7-year conquest and will be the starting point for connecting the various spans of time given to us in Judges chapter 3 onward. When all of these numbers have been reconciled correctly, we will have perfect harmony, with the 4th year of Solomon being the 480th year after the children of Israel came out of Egypt, and also there will be a 300-year span between when Sihon was defeated and the 1st year of Jephthah judging. There's only one way that the numbers can be assembled correctly to meet both of these criteria. In the next video, we will begin assembling the chronology of the judges, paying special attention to both the geography and the timeline. You can download the complete Timeline PDF spreadsheet, perfect for viewing on your computer, tablet, or phone, by clicking the link in the description of this video. May God bless you in your studies, and we'll see you here next time.